All right, welcome. Sorry about the technical difficulties again. Welcome to Positively Criticized Podcast. This is episode 2, the live edition, and the co-host is Eddie, the real Eddie. We got the real Eddie because we bring the real people here. So we got the real Eddie. This guy's single, bilingual, and ready to mingle. All right. So what we're talking about tonight is the Corona love. We got a story that Eddie kind of fell into during the Corona season, and we're going to get kind of back to that, but we're going to talk a little bit about how me and Eddie kind of met and everything like that. We've known each other for about 19 years, and it started off with Dish Network. Back in 2002, I actually encountered Eddie, and he was added to my team, and we were actually able to go out and we did a lot of door-to-door together, selling the dish. So Eddie, welcome to the show.
Oh, thank you for having me here.
So what exactly you got going on right now?
Oh no, it's just been kind of tough. I broke up with my ex November of 2019, so it's been like a year and a couple months. And with the Corona, it's hard. You know, I went to Texas and went to go see my family, and it was sad seeing all the places closed. It's not the same anymore, but we just got to get through this. And little by little, I started meeting people online. You know, I started doing those dating sites, but you know, it's tougher to meet them online than we meet them in person. But you know, just trying to get through this. It's just trying to make the best of it. You know.
Oh yeah, definitely with the dating apps.
Yeah.
Oh, hold on one second. I think we're experiencing more technical difficulties here.
Yeah.
You're saying we're echoing?
Mm-hmm.
No, I'm muted. Can you hear me? Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Are we echoing?
When you have both microphones on, you echo. When you're not muted.
Was that echoing?
Both of you. No, not when you muted it.
Okay, so it went off when I muted.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna remember to kind of mute. All right. Yeah. So for the question you is obviously you're kind of new to the dating app thing. I mean, have you used dating apps previously before the Corona?
No, I just started using them. I never thought I would use them. It was easier to meet girls, you know, before this, and started using them in, I would say, May or June, something like that, April. And you know, I met a couple of people on there, but it's harder to. I mean, it's nice to meet them, but when you meet them in person, then it's a little different than when you talk to them online or, you know, text and stuff and video chat.
So what exactly? What is your introduction like when you decide to when you find these ladies online? I mean, what is your intro? What is your intro?
What do you mean by intro?
Well, what are you saying to them?
Oh, they usually see my profile. I just kind of introduce myself, where I'm from and anything, and they introduce themselves too, and then we just start talking. You know, kind of like you meet somebody in person. You know.
All right. Hold on. I think we're having an echoing problem still. Hold on. We got to see what we need to do here, because we're muting back and forth, but we're still echoing.
Can you hear me?
So if you're muted, let me try this.
Do you hear me?
I don't hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
All right. Am I echoing? Am I echoing? Can you hear me now?
No, you're not echoing. There's a delay. You have to give me a second.
Okay.
And vice versa.
Okay. So Eddie, when you go to talk, reach over and hit my mute. When I go to talk, I'm gonna reach over and hit your mute.
Okay.
Okay? Right now we're both muted.
Okay.
So I'm gonna talk. Okay.
Okay.
So I mean, like, what is your introduction? Like, you see something. I don't know. What are you using? Tinder? Are you swiping right?
I use a couple of them, different ones.
So a couple different ones. So
Yeah.
what exactly are you?
I just try to like be friends with them, like try to like if you meet them in person. But a lot of times they don't really tell you who they are. That like certain things that you find out later on when you meet them.
How are you starting the conversation off?
I just introduce myself. I'm Eddie, and I'm single and looking for somebody.
It's not starting off with a. Say it again.
So starting out with what? Oh, just meet them. Just be yourself. Just tell them what you're about, and one day you could hook up with them.
So basically, you're not messaging everyone "Hello, beautiful."
Well, no, you just go on there and then just do the likes, and then later on whoever. It just feel like it's kind of rigged because there's a lot of people. Like, if you meet somebody in person, it's a lot easier. It's just hard with the pandemic when you go to bars, you go to places. It's hard. You don't see the same amount of girls like you did before. It's a lot easier before festivals. There was no festivals this past year. And, I live in Milwaukee area, and no Summerfest. I was gonna go to Texas for Tejano Fest. There was no Tejano Fest. So all the festivals, everything is kind of shut down. So it makes it a little bit tougher. And it's probably better to meet them at grocery stores or just kind of like restaurants or just in person. But we'll get through this.
So what kind of dates did you go on during the Corona thing? I mean, did you go on any actual dates like during? I mean, did you meet them? And did you actually go on like dates during? I mean, I know you're in Wisconsin.
Yeah.
So I know the state wasn't shut down as much as other states.
Yeah.
So I mean, did you have normal dates?
Well, yeah, I had a girl I was dating in Chicago. It was for a couple of months. I ended up going to Texas like around June, and I met somebody out there. We went on a date, but then I was with my family, and then we kind of she was busy and I was busy after that, and we didn't get to catch up. But that was pretty good. But I had come back, so kind of lost contact with her. And then I came back and I met another girl at another website in Chicago, and everything was going pretty good dated for a couple months. But then the more and more I start going out with her, she's not somebody I want to pursue. It was good at the beginning, and it just kind of she wasn't what I expected. A lot of family issues, a lot of different things that she's going through. And then my last one I had, I just met one for my birthday in I went out to Wichita, Kansas, and she was pretty good. We talked on the phone, and I met her in video chat. I went out there, and same thing. We get along good, but it's not. Find out she's. It's hard to have a long distance relationship because you can't really see them every day. Like if they're close by you, and then I was possibly thinking of moving out there, maybe so I could be closer to her, but it doesn't seem like it was working out. So then we kind of just ended it, and then I just had another one not too long ago that I was talking for like a week. Everything was going smooth, and then she ended up coming to my house. We hanged out for a little bit, but then kind of the same thing. It's kind of not what I expected, and we just kind of fell through. So it's just keep on. It's like just dating normal. Just keep on dating, and you find the right one. I know it's gonna happen sooner or later. There's no rush.
So you're saying the long distance one.
So
the question is, what did you learn so far, like? From having, did you ever have like a long distance relationship with somebody like that before? What was it like?
Well, I told her I was coming, and I told her I was going to be there for a week, and then I ended up staying like 3 or 4 days. I don't know if she had plans with a family or something. I don't know, and I just felt like it was good, but it wasn't as good as I thought it was going to be. It was okay. But it could have been better.
Did you do anything specifically different, like while you were I have the long distance part. Obviously, before you went down there, what did you do anything special or differently, like to keep that connection and everything going while you were before you went down there and even after?
Just keep on with the relationship. Just keep on trying to build it up and trying to know more about her know more about me, and just trying to have that connection, trying to know each other better, like you do with any somebody that you like.
So I think from that aspect, I think that like I can remember a time back in the day when I was out doing a job in New Jersey, and I was out there kind of trying to kill some time, and I remember giving you a call, and you told me that you were actually in Boston, and about 3 hours away from me, and you just moved out there. We hadn't talked to each other for a little bit, and so what exactly, how did that happen? I remember it was just kind of one of those things where you just kind of popped in.
That was, what was it, like 2002 or something, 2003?
No, that was actually 2008. It was the end of 2008.
Oh. Oh yeah, that time I had just broken up with my ex, and we had moved out there. I met this girl from Boston. A previous job I had, I met her. We dated for a little bit. She came out here to see me in Chicago, and then I went out there, and I was there for about probably like a month for a while, and it just doesn't seem like it was working out. So I ended up. You called me. You were in New Jersey, and I said, okay, that's my. I'm gonna pack my stuff and go. It's not working out.
So I mean, I do remember you. You did drive out, and we hung out for the day, and you told her you would give her a call later on to tell her, and obviously she wasn't kind of happy with you driving 3 states away, which is only 3 hours away, and in Illinois you'd still be in Illinois, and you did go back, and she obviously wasn't happy, and I think you guys were just trying to get over that little disagreement, and you decided that wasn't working out, so you packed the car up. And you came out to Jersey and spent the rest of the time with me for the next month or so. And we had a lot of weird times out there. We got to encounter some of the stories. It was cool. You were out there. I was able to have somebody out there hanging out with me. But we were able to go to the New York almost every other night, stuff like that, and. I kind of think of like, in a way, you trying to find love on these dating apps is like trying to find a parking spot in Hoboken. Remember that?
Oh yeah, we were driving around for it's like we're driving in Chicago, right? It was hard to find parking. Yeah, it's unbelievable. Yeah, I was with that girl in Boston, and I thought she was the one, and little by little, she had one kid, like 6 years old, kind of bratty, and and I kind of saw him as one of my kids, but then she had a couple other kids older kids from Brazil that were coming, and little by little, sometimes you just jump into relationships too quick, you fall in love quick, and it's part of life, and living and learning, still, trying to find the right one. My last, ex I was dating for like 13, 14 years, and it just didn't work out towards the end, and just was time to move on.
So I do remember that obviously we went back to Boston. She was a little upset with you, obviously, and she made you sleep in the kid's room, and the kid got to sleep in her room. So how was it sleeping in those transformer sheets?
I don't remember. It was kind of probably had a couple of beers or something. I don't know. I was ready to move out of there.
So I mean, I do remember like kind of us going out to New York and all that stuff, and we found like we made our way to the Hawaiian tropic zone, and it was we got in there and everything like that, and we actually had they had this meal for 2 that we decided to get together. This braised beef was really good, but I remember like the waitress. What was her name?
I don't know what her name was, but she looked like Jennifer Lopez. She was hot.
I know she probably had the green thumb for your your eggplant, but I remember her telling us specifically not to walk around New York at 1 o'clock in the morning. And you decided that we're going to go walk around New York at 1 o'clock in the morning. And here we found ourselves leaving Times Square, walking down, I don't even know where we were at. We were just walking down the road, New York, and you're like, hey, maybe we should go to a hotel and the bars and maybe like there's some women in there like that stuff. And I'm like, well, you know, it's getting late and everything like that. And you're like, oh, let's get a slice of pizza. So we decided to get the slice of pizza. And then while we're talking about the hotels, this guy walks up alongside us. And he's carrying a duffel bag. He looked like a bum with a duffel bag. And we were just kind of like feeling a little bit leery about this guy. But he's telling us that he himself has gone to hotels and picked up women in the hotel bars. And we're just like, oh, really, really? So we find the pizza place. We get to the pizza place. We're going in, and this gentleman held the door for us to go in. So he was going in with us. Maybe just, you know. And I used the washroom. You got in line to order the pizza. I come out. I'm standing there. And there's this really, and I noticed the guy with the duffel bag is sitting in the booth. And this really scrubby guy come walking in. And there's literally these two girls sitting there closest to the door. This guy walks in the door, kisses one of the girls, and then she's like, oh my God, what did you just do? And this guy goes and sits down with the guy with the duffel bag. You get your pizza, we go sit down, you know, we converse a little bit, and all of a sudden the guy, the scrubby guy gets up out of the seat, comes over to our table, well, we're back to back, but he stops at our table and literally is sitting there looking at me going, man, I'm gonna go to jail tonight. And I'm like, what's this guy gonna do? What's this guy gonna do? And he literally reaches into his coat. I thought he was going to shoot me. And he turns around and he reaches, but he pulls out a glove. Oh, he puts gloves on. He's going to shoot me. He's going to shoot. And the guy walks for the door. And he's a smaller guy. He walks out the door. I see him get lifted into the air. And you're eating your pizza. You're not even turning around. I'm looking at you going, Eddie, the guy just lifted into the air. And all of a sudden I see him standing outside on the front window of the pizza place with his hands on the window. And then all of a sudden you see all these guys around him and they bring him back into the pizza place. And these guys were all New York undercovers. And the guy behind us with the duffel bag, thank goodness, the guy that was on the sidewalk conversing with us, was a cop. This was a controlled sting. We're sitting at it. This guy's getting processed and everything like that. I'm telling you. And the guy's like, I told you I was going to go to jail. I'm like, don't talk to me. And you're sitting there. You never one time turned around and looked. Never one time. You're eating your pizza and you go, well, he said he was going to go to jail. I guess he's going to go to jail.
Yeah, that was funny. He looked like one of those bums that, the cops a lot of times they pick on the little kids. You know, they don't pick on the big dealers. They look for the little guys. So he was like one of those bums that probably was happy to go to jail.
So, I mean, I tell you what though, there was probably at least 12 New York undercover agents in that thing, and every one of those looked worse than that bum. I mean, the cars they were getting in to drive away. I mean, in a million years you would never guess that. I mean, but we're walking out of this pizza place. We're leaving. We walked out of the pizza place, and I remember looking at you going, Eddie, what exactly is that place called? And I turned around and looked at it, and there was this big sign in the front of the place that said, a slice of New York. I think we got definitely a slice of New York. But yeah, that was definitely, what did the waitress tell us before we left the Hawaiian Tropic Zone?
Oh yeah, just be careful at night. You make the weird ones.
Indeed we did.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was probably one of the funniest stories. But I remember when you came out and you noticed. I mean, I was renting a living room for $600, as I'm paying for my family back in Illinois for a whole apartment for $750. I'm renting a living room for $600 in New Jersey, and it's kind of funny how I got this apartment or this room. Was I would literally go on Craigslist and I'm looking for a place to live, cheap. And I got about 10 people that hit me up to find these places. And actually it was kind of funny that there was one that was in Hoboken, and it was really, thank goodness, because when we tried to find parking in Hoboken, I probably wouldn't have been. I could barely find parking in Richfield, New Jersey. When I got out of the store, and the whole Hoboken was actually, I think it was $1,800 a month, and that was splitting it with 2 other people. And it had a view of the Hudson. It was an amazing place. But I mean, you wouldn't be able to enjoy that. But you probably would have enjoyed it a lot more. I mean, the two girls that lived there were actually they were supermodels. They were models that lived in this apartment building. And then I remember I went to one place that had no furniture. I don't know what I was going to do there. And I met a couple weirdos, and then I ended up in this place, and it was really funny. It was I called it the Russian's apartment because it was the Russian's apartment, and she presumed to tell me that her husband was in Russia, teaching people how to work on American cars, because they like to bring American cars over there and work on them or something. So she was kind of explaining this to me, but what happened was, I remember the first night I was in this apartment. Everything in this apartment, there's a bookcase, and every book was in Russian, except for one book. It was a book of encyclopedia of guns, and everything else was in Russian. And I remember I had this big giant tube TV in front of me, and I remember opening up the drawer, looking in there, and they had Sex and the City DVD seasons that were all in Russian. The only one that wasn't in Russian was the Girl Gone Wild DVDs. And I just remember sitting there. I sat down on the futon, and I'm noticing that everything in this room still had a price tag on it. It was still attached, where they didn't take the price tags. Everything had a price tag still on it. So I'm sitting there literally. I'm going to fall asleep in this room tonight, and I don't know if I'm going to wake up tomorrow. But that was like probably one of the funniest things. It just and it ended up being totally fine. You came out there, you stayed in the apartment, but yeah. So I mean, what do you what's your take on the thing?
Well, I wanted to get a better place for us, but I was kind of strapped for cash, and it was like a little room that we were in, and the Russian girl was kind of quiet, so I was like, man, she's not too friendly. But I ended up staying there. We went to a couple good restaurants out there, and the nice thing out there, you told me you're from Chicago, they really treat you good in New Jersey. So there's like a connection there with people from Chicago, so that's good. And I remember this couple the restaurants were really good. And then we met a couple cops out there, and I never been to a place. If you ever go to Hoboken, never been to a place there's so many cops. I don't know why there's so many cops. Maybe there's a lot of money there or something. Who knows?
Well, I mean, I remember, lucky enough that I was actually out in New Jersey. I remember the store manager had come. He had got the new Google phone, and he was talking about the phone, and then all of a sudden he's looking at the phone, and then all of a sudden he's like, "Oh my God, a plane just landed in the Hudson." And so I was out there when the plane landed on the Hudson, and where I had the opportunity to actually go into to New York and actually see the plane that was pulled up into Battery Park and all that stuff, and just getting near that thing obviously was insane. But that was at the time that my sister and my wife and kid had come out to see me, and I can remember my sister had this boyfriend at the time, and he wanted to pay tribute to 9/11, and we were walking down the streets. I remember we went into some store to buy some shoes, I think, for my little one, and we got the shoes and we're walking, and then he had told us, the boyfriend had said, oh, this is 9/11, I want to pay tribute to this. And we're standing there looking at this construction site for a little bit of time, and he's like, he's getting deep with this thing. You could tell he is. He's standing there, he's looking at the construction site, and a cop walked up to us to ask us if he could help us. And we're like, no. He's like, no, I'm just paying tribute to 9/11. And the cop presumed to tell him that's not 9/11, that's not the World Trade, that's a couple blocks that way. And that was kind of funny. So we ended up going to actually where that was at and stuff. But yeah, that was, you know, pretty much like that. And then they had the chance of staying in this hotel that I actually stayed in when I got there. And it was actually this hotel on a hill. And I remember telling the cops at the store about this hotel that I was staying in, and they were like automatically, oh, the Hilltop Hooker Hotel. And it was this Howard Johnson, to where all the hookers would hang out at the top of the hotel, because when they would see people coming in, they or the cops coming in, they could basically, you know, get out of there. But I mean, I'll tell you, when the first night, I remember, because I stayed in that hotel for, I think it was a week, and they had exterior doors. It wasn't like we were going in. I mean, there was three separate buildings to this thing. The bottom obviously being the lobby, and then you would go up to the top of these things. But they had the I was just waiting for my door. I felt like I was in an episode of Cops or something. Like my door was just gonna get kicked in. It was like intense. And then I remember the first night I get in my room, I settled in, and I get this like bang on the door. I'm like, what the heck? And I remember I open up the door, and there's these two guys standing out there, just in plain looking clothes, normal, just kind of a little bit scrubby. And they, do you need towels, sir? We have towels. I'm like, oh, yeah, I'll take some towels. I mean, it was that was a really creepy place to be. So
did you hear any fights or anything in there? Any people doing crazy stuff?
I didn't hear anything. I mean, it was a very quiet place, and I went from there to find the kind of the funny thing is I ended up in the Russian's apartment after that, and it was like one of those things where you never realized. I would come home every night, and I would open up the front hallway to go up the stairs to get in this apartment, which is like a normal apartment building. You can go up, or you can go off to the right and go down to the lower levels. And I'd come home, and I would probably trip over boxes every time I'd walk in the door, because it was just pitch black in this thing. And then I would get my phone out and shine it, and I would see her name on the boxes. So I would carry these boxes up the stairs in the dark to get into the apartment. And I would probably say almost not even the last week that I was there, I found the light switch to get that went up the stairs. So I actually was able to. I thought the light was just burnt out. I just realized that I don't know who's turning off the light switch, like who's conserving energy at the apartment building. But yeah, I found the light switch to get up to the things, and it made it a lot easier for that last week.
Yeah, I want to appreciate you guys for listening to our podcast, Joey, my cousin, and Kevin. If you guys have any stories, any jokes, or anything you want to share with us, thank you for listening.
We got some comments here. They might be about our technical difficulties, so let's go fire the first one off here and see what it says. Shane? Well, that was the technical difficulties one. Thank you, Shane. This next one? Shane again. Alright, we got back to the echo. I think we established the echo problem, right?
Yeah.
Our echo problem was us sitting on top of each other.
Mm-hmm. See, the thing is because we're actually sitting in the same room,
We have to play around with the mute buttons. I mean, I do have other devices that are filming us for this, for different audio and stuff like that, but to do the live, not every single live is going to have the person sitting here next to me, but we haven't seen each other in so long, so we figured we'd do it this way. And, you know, like last time when I was with the Real Ryan Reed, you know, we had the, we didn't play the echo or the mute game, so I kind of obviously, they could have played with my Bluetooth and also messing with the other way, giving us that echo. So hopefully this one of us playing around with the mute buttons is kind of helping out. And thanks for the feedback, Shane. But so I mean, I think like from back to the Corona love, I think that obviously we found you had Love in Boston that went sour, you know. And you had the love of KC that went sour, because not all love stories have a great ending, right?
Yeah.
What's next for you, man? Are you looking to, you know, what exactly are you? What are you looking for?
Well, just keep on dating and see until the right one comes along. No, the Boston one was way before this Corona time. The Kansas City was this time, and then the one from Chicago too. So I'll just keep on. Probably try to meet more in person instead of online is probably the best thing.
So, and then I see that you're like, you know, you actually just signed up. I mean, I remember I signed up for, I remember actually the first time that I was using Facebook was actually was in New Jersey. That was I had signed up and I was using Facebook in New Jersey in 2008. And you yourself
We'll get somebody calling.
Have signed up for Facebook this year.
Could I put him in if he wants to listen to it?
No, that won't work like that.
Oh.
So, what exactly? You know, now that you're a new user to Facebook, what's your what's your take on Facebook?
Facebook is mostly just friends and family, people you know already, and then just kind of communicate with them.
So are you getting acclimated to the buttons and the share buttons and how they work, or?
Yeah, I ended up had a mistake the other day. I was sending my friend a picture of this girl dancing, you know, like a nice bikini girl, and then somehow I ended up putting it on my. You hit share. I was just going to my friends, and I guess it went on my profile. So my sister luckily told me about it, and then I took it off. So it's kind of funny.
It's like the elderly using Facebook for the first time, you know, sharing those photos.
Yeah, yeah. That's the thing with Facebook is you don't get too many. I'm old school, you know. I like being on the phone or seeing you in person. Nowadays, that's how people want to do it. Now is just text. You know, it's the new time we live in. You know, a lot of people are busy, so that's. I guess it's better than nothing.
You know, I'm thinking too is what I'm seeing, you know, out there, like you've seen a lot of different stuff on TikTok and stuff like that. People complaining about relationships and everything like that. You know, ghosting's a big thing now. You know, back in our days, blind dates were kind of a big thing. And I mean, have you ever gone on a blind date before?
Well, my friend hooked us up on a blind date when I 2005, you know, my ex, and it was pretty good. Yeah, that seems to work pretty good. I could see if I could get my friend on here because I think he wanted to talk.
Well, you can't add extra people.
Over here.
It's just 2 people.
Over here. Here.
But
oh no, it's just fellow.
No, yeah, you can't add extra people. It's only 2 people.
Okay.
So the thing is you know, from a blind date standpoint, I remember I had gone on one. I think back when I was I think maybe 18, 19 years old. Somebody had told me, hey, you should go out on this date and everything, and I did, and I'll tell you, Eddie, I really wish I was blind when I showed up, and you know, I was nice enough to just let the air out of the tires and let her in the car.
Could you go live with him or no? See if it works.
No, you can't.
Oh.
You can't go live.
Oh, okay.
You can only add 2 people in this thing.
Oh, okay.
But
how about you, Shane? Any jokes for us? Anything you want to share?
yeah, does anybody have any like I don't know, like Corona love stories? Like anything crazy happened to them during the Corona season of, you know, what they actually they've experienced for 2020, and we're still in the Corona season, so I mean, it could 2021 still can count, but yeah, so. I don't know. So, I mean, what exactly are you looking to do? I mean, is there any app that's working better for you out there that maybe some of the other people that like can kind of jump on?
No, the app is just to meet people. These apps are just to meet people, and the best way to meet them is in person. You know, the old-fashioned way, and just something that it's good for the brain, I guess, but can't expect too much from the girls you meet online. You know, my experience.
Well, I'm thinking like from the fact is I'm seeing this as like more of a digital relationship. On people now. I honestly think that these people are so acclimated to just meeting this way, and it's so easy for people to just, you know, as we say, ghost people and not respond to people anymore. It's just causing like kind of like way like that. I mean, do you see a difference in the behavior of people when you're talking to them online versus actually meeting that same person in person?
Oh yeah, of course on the line and video chat. You know, they're gonna seem a little bit nicer, a little bit friendlier, and then when you meet them in person, and the true colors come out. Then it's not really what they say. Sometimes it's not what they say they are. They might be kind of similar to what they are, but not the same thing.
I mean, you didn't experience any catfishing yet, have you?
Well, my first experience was Plenty of Fish. I was on there my first time, I think, in April or March, and the first week, I think like 3 or 4 people I met, they're not who they were. You know, they sent me a picture and it was somebody different. So yeah, I got rid of that right away.
So what you're saying is the catfish went to the Plenty of Fish.
My experience, yeah.
Wow. So I mean that's that. Looks like we thought we had something. Looks like something was from Shane, but I guess it didn't show up. So I mean, what was your response? I mean, did you? I mean, let's hear some. I mean, did you meet any crazies? I mean, what's the craziest thing that's happened to you so far, like in this?
There hasn't been really too many crazies. You know, I mean, just kind of just didn't work out the way it should. You know, which is normal.
Well, you gotta have something crazy. I mean, something like. I mean, okay, so you got the Plenty of Fish, obviously plenty of catfish now. So obviously everybody out there that's listening, Plenty of Fish might be full of catfish. Hence the name. But you know, is it, you know? So you did Plenty of Fish. You know, did you try Tinder? Have you done Tinder at all?
Yeah, the problem with all these apps, you always, you know, me doing this for a couple of months now, I've only met, was it like 3 or 4 people I went on dates with, out of hundreds of likes and swipes, you know. So something I have a feeling somebody's controlling in the back scenes, who you hook up with. It's weird, you know. And never pay for these things. When you pay for them, you get the likes and you get people from other countries that probably made up or who knows what. It's all BS. So it's just, don't. When I tell people these dating sites, go on there for free, but don't spend any money on them. They're kind of a rip-off. Camino. Hey. So we want to hear your stories now on the Corona life. Can you hear me?
You just kicked me off a lot.
Oh yeah. Hey, what happened? The what?
Aaron Rodgers, quarterback, Packers.
What about him?
He found his love during the COVID times.
Oh, nice.
But I will will say this, during COVID times, a lot of men and women are feeling kind of lonely.
Yeah.
It's the only way to communicate and reach out.
Yeah, I was trying. It's weird with this first time doing the stereo thing, and I guess we can only have two people at the same time talking.
Don't talk.
Oh,
Don't talk.
oh, you what? Oh, yeah.
Who's your engineer? I want to talk to your engineer.
No, here, come on, tell your more stories.
Yeah, sorry.
No, I was just
Oh.
saying that during these COVID times, I know you guys are talking about COVID love.
Well, what about your COVID love? I heard stuff about you. You have anything?
Yeah, so I tried the whole Tinder, the whole Bumble, and it seems like a lot of American women have a laundry list that goes on, and I think it depends on your status quo and what you have. But anyways, I reached out to somebody. It's an African princess over in Zambia. But yeah, no, it's been a crazy year. I'm sure for anybody who's hunkered down and all by themselves.
Oh yeah.
We all want a juicy, right, Eddie?
Oh yeah. Everybody wants a juicy. Yeah.
I'll get off, but I just
Is Jason listening too or no?
Eddie
Is Jason there?
eating the pizza instead of helping his buddy.
Hey, is Jason on there too? Hello? Oh. Okay. Hello?
Yeah, answer.
Hello? Okay, yeah.
All right, you're on there.
Yeah.
All right. I don't know if we changed the. Don't invite anybody else on.
Okay. Okay.
All right. I don't know if we're on the same chat or not.
Okay.
But but yeah. So I think that. I think that's it. I mean, we're about almost an hour now doing this, and just kind of following up and exactly what's been going on with you and stuff like that. But hopefully, all the luck to you, man. It's just you use a lot of these apps and then learning how and finding somebody in real life. This the digital world is just it's terrible out there now. I don't think us elderly are going to be able to find love.
Hey, everybody out here watching us on Facebook, I appreciate you guys listening in. And a shout out from Milwaukee and a shout out here from over here the boonies of Joliet, Coal City area. I went to a place called, if you're ever in the area, Knocking Boots. They have really good food. I had a 1 pound burger, and I recommend it to everybody. And go Facebook.
All right, well, I guess we're going to end it like that. Thanks for everybody for listening and joining into the Facebook. And that's it.
And of course, go stereo.
All right.